What do you say to that single pregnant woman who might have AIDS, no income, and she needs Daraprim in order to survive? What do you say to her when she has to make that choice? What do you say to her?
On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
Do you think you've done anything wrong?
On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
You do know that not every disclosure can be subject to the Fifth Amendment assertion. Only those that are that you reasonably believe could be used in a criminal prosecution or could lead to other evidence.
I intend to use the advice of my counsel, not yours.
This is a great opportunity if you want to educate the members of Congress about drug pricing or what you called the fictitious case against you, or we can even talk about the purchase of a, is it Wu-Tang Clan? Is that the name of the album? Name of the group?
On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
I want to ask you I want to plead with you to use any remaining influence you have over your former company to press them to lower the price of these drugs. You can look away if you like, but I wish you could see the faces of people, no matter what Ms. Retzlaff says, who cannot get the drugs that they need. Rightly or wrongly, you've been viewed as the so-called bad boy of Pharma. You have a spotlight, and you have a platform. You could use that attention to come clean, to right your wrongs, and to become one of the most effective patient advocates in the country, and one that can make a big difference in so many people's lives. I know you're smiling, but I'm very serious, sir.
On Capitol Hill Thursday, notorious Big Pharma CEO, known for being the most hated man in America, faced Congress. But 32-year-old Martin Shkreli didn't have much to say. Lawmakers grilled Shkreli after he refused to answer their questions because of an unrelated federal indictment. The hearing focused on his decision to hike the price of a life-saving drug from about $13 to $750. CBS News contributor and editor for TheNewYorker.com, Nick Thompson, is with us throughout the night. So, Nick, let me ask you, what did you think of that?
It was appalling. I mean, he was so unlikable. It was incredible. His smirk. I mean, he's being asked about really important questions, sick patients, prices, things that he could probably talk about not dealing with his indictment. He didn't say anything, and he just looked terrible and like the biggest jerk in the world.
I know, the guy's 32 years old. People, I think, don't realize, like, this is a really young guy. But I loved, so this piece that you have in The New Yorker today, it's a satire piece by Andy Borowitz. The headline is great. Shkreli miraculously makes nation side with Congress. And then from inside here, the piece, it says, according to polls taken after his appearance before the despised legislative body, Shkreli's smug, smirking, and utterly douchey performance had the effect of temporarily transforming members of Congress into marginally sympathetic figures. Yeah, he is not a sympathetic figure at all.
He's not a sympathetic figure at all. And in fact, one of the things when I was watching it on a more serious note, there was a very interesting moment where Trent Gowdy said, hey, am I pronouncing your name right, Shkreli? And Shkreli says, yes. And Gowdy says, busted. You can answer questions.
Trey Gowdy got him on that.
Right? So Trey Gowdy had a very good moment and actually made me think, okay, actually, you really do side with Congress during this moment.
Right. So, you know, it was so interesting that he was taking the fifth there. He just answered the question about his name, but basically sat there and smiled. But later in the day, he decided to take some questions, and he hosted this live web chat on a site called Blab to talk with the public. And actually, Vlad Duchier was able to get through. Let's take a look at that.
Vladimir.
Hey.
Hey,
Martin.
are you with the media?
I am. I'm with CBS News.
So I can't really talk to any media representatives. You have to talk to my lawyer. Sorry. I don't trust the media. I think the media kind of sucks. In fact, on the list of industries, I think tobacco is probably the worst industry, and the media is probably the second worst industry. Why is the media so bad? Well, at the end of the day, the media is engineered and designed to sell advertisements. And the truth is sort of whatever. Entertainment and advertising is more important. In fact, if you look at media companies like Viacom and CBS, it's a mix of news and entertainment, which to me is a pretty bad conflict of interest. There are serious journalists out there. But again, my lawyers instructed me to not speak with the media. He can talk to the media. You saw him on CNBC. He's really smart, really entertaining. He's done this for far more important people than me, like Dominic Strauss-Kahn and Puff Daddy and Jay-Z. So you don't need to talk to me. You can talk to Ben Brafman. He'd indulge you in the conversation. I won't. Juicy J won't.
Okay, so Vlad tried to get through. And of course, I have to reinforce the fact that he's talking to a journalist for CBS News, the home of 60 Minutes, a place with revered storytelling journalistic principles. But setting that aside, where was he? It looked like there was, like he's in a basement or something like that.
Who knows where he was? He's lecturing us on conflicts of interest
Yes.
and, the corrupting power, of money. It can do all sorts of terrible things to people. Oh, good. Thank you, Martin Shkreli. I mean, the thing about him is that he is in some ways a creature of the social media age, right? He's got this live stream of himself. He's on Twitter all the time. And every single thing he does on every single platform is appalling, right? His tweets are incredibly offensive. Everything he says is just wrong. He's not able to use it to defend himself. He's not able to use it in any way that makes him look good. He is a creature of the internet and a bad one.
I know, exercising his First Amendment right. Okay, so, however, a little bit of karma here, because did you see after the hearing on Capitol Hill, there's a Vine going around, and I just can't help but have a little sense of glee in watching this, because it's a little fun. There he is. I'm gonna go to my car. Oh, that's not my car. Okay, I'm gonna stand here. making the rounds. One thing that you can say about him, bipartisan hatred on Capitol Hill.
Bipartisan.
But he is able to unite members of Congress in their hatred towards him. There you go. Martin Shkreli, thank you so much for weighing in and saying what I think America is feeling.
The one other joke he ran, which I thought was quite funny, was Martin Shkreli's lawyer hikes fees 5,000%.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Okay, yeah, there's the tweet from him. Hard to accept that these imbeciles represent the people in our government. Okay. And there you have it, your Martin Shkreli update for the day. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Elaine.